Hello, 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 and welcome back to Talking to Tequila with Chloe. That's me, Chloe. Welcome to Wednesday morning. It's been unseasonably warm on the East Coast. We had a cold front last week, I think, but all of a sudden this week it's like hitting 40s, 50s, which is it's a little nice. I think the vitamin D right now is like very healing in this time, and the sun shining is very healing. We did have a little bit of a rainstorm. Yeah, this is a weather segment. It's a weather segment. Buckle up. Okay. We had a little bit of rain this week, but I think it was needed because my car has so much gosh darn salt on it. The one thing about trying to err toward positivity is when things happen like, oh, it's raining. Don't go, oh, it's raining. That's so dreadful. That's so drab. I'll go, free car wash. Free car wash never hurt anyone. In fact, free car wash probably saved you a few buckaroonies because all of a sudden, nowadays, car wash is $19. And I get it. I get that there's like parts of a car wash that we're all, paying for. You're paying for the building. But at the end of the day, it's like water and it's soap. And it's $19 in this economy. Now, we do have a good episode this week. It is going to be heavily on the Golden Globes. And I would like to offer a retraction because last week I kept saying Golden Globes. My bad. Listen, you know what they say? Even Tom Brady can't win every Super Bowl. I'm almost perfect. Just joking. I'm not. I'm actually going to get to a segment on confidence. But last week was the Critics' Choice Awards, which is just, that's okay. It is a little snooty, but really when the awards that really get you cooking, Golden Globes, Grammys, Oscars. So it is going to be heavily on the Golden Globes. However, it's not going to be a bunch of like boring. I'm not going to read through every category. I'm really just hitting the hard hitting topics that I want to talk about. Some things about, who hit the red carpet, my ice machine. I'm so scared of my ice machine. You could be sitting in total silence and then all of a sudden I'm like freaking my heart just jumped. Like I literally just had anxiety. But we're going to touch on the Golden Globes, only things I care about, who hit the red carpet. Not even who hit the red carpet. That makes it sound like I'm going to be like, oh, this actress in this dress. No. I'm talking about pins, baby. I'm talking about Be Good. I'm talking about Ice Out. I'm talking about Nikki Glaser. I'm talking about Mark Ruffalo. Okay, I'm hitting the things. I'm talking Marty Supreme. I'm talking best director, best picture. I'm talking snubs. That's what I'm talking about today. I also want to hit on the second Cake Eater book tour that I went to in Pittsburgh. And then I gotta touch on confidence a little bit. And then we will be ending this podcast this week in a politicking segment. I'm sorry we have to do it. It's important. And I need to touch on TikTok. It's going to be a jam-packed episode today. Jam-packed. Now, let's roll right into it. I'm in Annapolis. It's a beautiful morning. I'm in my pajamas because this episode's just going to be, let's just get back into the girl talk. Let's get back into, I want to play loose and fast. I don't want these regimented next. I just want to talk. And that's what we're going to do today. Now, first and foremost, two things. This has been my year of yes so far. We're only like 13 days into it, 14 days into it. And I have been hitting the yeses hard. Like, yes, this, yes, that, yes, this, yes, that. I went to the movies last night. 9:40 p.m. movie? What? Who am I? But there are two things that I have noticed. And I'm glad I noticed it early because I need to switch it and change it quickly. One, I'm definitely going to change. The other, I don't know yet if I'm going to change. I have let sleeping become this like elective thing for me where I'm going, one night, maybe I'll get 4 hours of sleep. Oh, one night, maybe I'll get 9 hours of sleep. Oh, maybe I won't sleep at all. Like this week, I tried to go to bed. I was up till 11. Then I went to bed at 11. I got up at 2. I couldn't fall asleep. I was awake. I was on my phone. I was scrolling. I was doing this. I was doing that. And then I had a list of things I was doing, okay? And then I'm driving to Pittsburgh at 6 o'clock in the morning. I just stayed up. I got to Pittsburgh, stayed up all day long. I mean, I'm hitting 30, 36, 37 hours awake with like 1 3-hour stint in between. Who do I think I am? And it's not so much, I understand things like brain health are important and all that. I'm kind of worried about that. I'm more worried about eye bags. You know, I don't want to look puffy. I don't want to look inflamed. I don't want to look tired. So I do want to prioritize sleeping. I don't really know how I'm going to go about doing that. I just feel like there's so much happening in life right now that I don't want to miss. I'm really flooded with like a huge FOMO right now, a fear of missing out. I feel like I'm always like waiting for something, waiting for the next thing, waiting for, I feel like there's so many hours in the day and I'm running out of time. I'm running out of hours. I'm running out of what I need to do in the day. So I'm just staying up. And I feel right now, while I have my youth and my spirit, it's not really hurting me or hitting me that hard. But you know those photos of people that you see, like truck drivers, where they drove in their trucks in like short sleeve shirts, or like farmers for 30 years and their arms are all wrinkly and discolored and there's like sunspots all over, and then they take their pants off and it's literally like a baby's bottom, like fresh, wrinkle free, pristine, baby soft, smooth skin. I feel like that's what's going to happen with me for sleeping. Like, I feel like right now the world's kind of like, well, yeah, you still have a nice full face, you have adipose in your face, but honey, when you hit 45, you're going to look sickly and gaunt. So I'm going to try to sleep on that, work on that a little bit. Now, we all know I went to the Brooklyn Book Eater tour. Fabulous, right? We already know that. I was also invited to the Pittsburgh one that I brought my friend Katie to. I can't skip that. We wanted to have a good time. I wanted Katie to meet Carl and so on and so forth. Let me tell you something. Someone DM'd me or someone commented on my TikTok this week, you and Carl Radke becoming BFFs was not on my 2025 bingo card. And while I have the knee-jerk inclination to go, girl, no, of course not. It's not even, I'm not going to lie to you. We are getting on a very casually friendly level. Like, knows my name, knows my TikTok handle, gave me a big hug when I saw him. How are you? Oh, did you get back to Annapolis okay? Chatting. Knows where I'm, have my travel contract. Like, very friendly guy. His team pulled me aside after I was done talking to him again in Pittsburgh, had me meet his mom, had me meet his cousin. He texted me later that night, thank you for coming again, like blah, blah, blah. I have, just very, very friendly. Oh, wait. Did I mention last week that he gave me his number? Not in a way of like, in a romantic way at all. It was like in terms of like business, friendship, similarities. He knows stuff that happened with my sister, like if I ever need resources, just things like that. It was in no way, shape, or form like any other way. Just really honestly a good guy that's like, hey, if you ever need anything, I'm available. I don't know if I mentioned that because I think I thought it was nice and private, but I just said he texted me later that night. But again, in a friendship way. Okay. I would never, one thing about me, I'm not ever going to be trying to play sneaky deaky, elude. Oh, he gave me his number. Yeah, we text. Girl, not like that. I wish I could be that type of girl. I wish I could be this like, oh, I wish I could be. Let me tell you something. There's nothing more in this world I wish I could be than this mysterious, cool, calm, cool, collected girl. Oh, I wish I could be this mysterious, calm, cool, collected girl. But I'm the opposite. I am like this jarringly honest, high anxiety, semi-panicked, emotional, but real, inauthentic, friendly, charming girl. And you may say, oh, honest, caring. You may say all those things. Oh, what good attributes. Oh, that's good, Chloe. You're so lucky. Do you think it's lucky that 0% of the time in my life I can play it cool? Oh, why? It's not lucky. It's a fucking nightmare. It's literally a nightmare. It is a curse to, at all times, feel the absolute, unrelenting need to say exactly how you feel. And by the way, I don't feel like I need to say exactly how I feel all the time because I need to be heard. That's not why. It's because when I say something, I immediately think it's going to be misinterpreted or I misread a situation. And then I just create or spiral that a situation is going to go these 10 ways that I never intended because that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. So then all of a sudden I say this one thing. Oh, blank, blank, blank. And then I go, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to explain myself to death. Oh, hold on. Are we having a semi-decent good time? Is everything seemingly cool? Is everything totally kosher? I think I'll explain myself to death until I annoy the fuck out of you. That's what I think I'll do. Wait, hold on. I think I may have annoyed you. Let me explain myself to death until I actually annoy you. Yeah, that's a good plan. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. How do I cure that? Hypnotherapy? Ice baths? What do I do? I don't know how to stop overthinking. Electric shock therapy? Therapy. No, therapy's too vanilla. I don't mean vanilla as in boring. I mean, I think I need 10,000 watts to the dome piece. Like I want it fixed now. Ayahuasca. I don't want to do 2 years of talking to a therapist so they can help me understand why over-explaining and over-complicating is blank, blank, blank from this origin and yada, 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 yada. I want someone to take a cattle prodder to the back of my neck and fucking fix it. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I want. I'm so sick of getting in my own way. And because I have been paying more attention to some of my flaws that I would like fixed, it's so weird. I'm in this weird spot, and I've mentioned this before. I'm in this weird spot where I think I am fun, gorgeous, charming, entertaining, charismatic, thoughtful, helpful, really invested in people in who they are, in doing the right thing. I think all of these things of myself. I think I'm awesome. I think I'm talented. Really, I think I'm that bitch. Like, I really do think I'm that girl. I'm that girl. I'm a catch. I'm awesome. you're lucky to have me as a friend, and I'm lucky to be your friend. All of these things, I think. At the same time, simultaneously, having these little chips of my confidence get knocked away, because I'm also right now trying to be really clearly aware of my shortcomings, because I'm trying to fix them. I don't want to always be, I don't want to get upset. Oh my God, is this like the second time I've ever cried on my podcast? I really don't want to spend my whole life being this overly anxious, high anxiety, over explaining person that makes things more complicated than they have to be, or makes things worse than they have to be, or turns things worse because of my own anxiety. Like, there's just so many times in my life where things are fine, and I'm so worried about how someone else is interpreting it, or how I'm coming off, that I just turn a situation into something so much more complex, or frustrating, or annoying, or irritating than it has to be. Like, it really just is the worst thing about me. And I just don't know how to fix it. Oh my gosh. Not a therapy session on a Tuesday morning. I just have to figure out how to fix that, because I don't know. And I know that it is just really a horrible characteristic to have. Okay. It's okay. I'm okay. One thing that'll switch me back into a okay, not mood, but I'm in a fine mood. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just have stuff going on in my life that I just feel like I fuck stuff up so much sometimes. And it's just all my, I don't know if I should say it's all my fault, but I just wish I could stop getting in my own way. That's what it is. I wish I could stop getting in my own way. And I am. That's why I'm trying to pay more attention to these certain things and fix them. It's just hard. And I should be more proud of myself. But I just feel like this last week I've done it like 5 times, where I was like, you have to stop over explaining and overthinking things. You just need to let it play out. Don't try to do damage control for a scenario that hasn't even happened yet, because you're just, this snowball's rolling downhill, and you're assuming it's like going into a direction that it's not even going into. And so you're trying to like play damage control, but nothing has even happened yet. But in you trying to play damage control, you have just made the situation into something it wasn't even. You wouldn't have even had to play damage control. But it's okay. I'm going to work on it. That's really like one of my main priorities for this year, is working on that. Which I think, I don't know. If anyone has a cattle prodder, let me know. You know, I mention things sometimes where I'm like, oh, does Virginia even exist? Or like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on there? Is that even a thing? And then someone will message me. They're like, actually, I do live in Virginia and I listen to you. Or actually, I'm in, like, someone messaged me once that they were like, hey, a listener from Ireland yeah, that is a thing here. And I'm like, fucking Ireland? What the hell how the hell, my wavelengths reached Ireland? Really? Interesting. Okay. So if anyone has a cattle prodder, DM me. No one freak out. I'm not going to really have them cattle prod me. I'm just interested in knowing. There has to be some farmer that listens to me. Now, wait, hold on. What the fuck? Oh my God. Do you ever just have an equation? Oh my God. Do you ever have an equation? You know what? Do not message me if you have a cattle prodder. Holy shit. Do you ever just realize when you're talking about something like 1 + 1 = 2? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I'm joking about the cattle prodder, but I just realized what a cattle prodder is an electrical thing that you shock a cow with. So I'm saying, oh, if you have a cattle prodder, Kiki, you're a farmer, message me. No, that means you have a cow, you have a cattle prodder, and you're shocking your cow. Oh my God. I don't want to know anything about that. I retract every single thing I said about my cattle prodder joke. I'm not into shocking animals. That's really fucked up. I understand sometimes you go, oh, well, you have to get them into the thing. Is there no other way? Can we not take a bell and like ring it and kind of surprise them into their little corral or whatever? Or why don't you do little taps on the butt? Oh, come on, little girl, get into your little thing. Oh, deep, 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 deep. I don't want you to cattle prod. I don't even like when dogs have buzzer collars on. Okay. Oh my God. Thank God that was an equation. I would have had to issue another retraction 2 weeks in a row. Let's jump into the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes are really one of the awards shows that I start to perk up and pay attention to because, it covers movies, it covers TV shows. It's really a catch-all. It is the true melting pot of Hollywood. Now, Nikki Glaser hosted the Golden Globes, and the tequila time, rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, hey, rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, ch-ch, 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 is basically going to be the Golden Globes. I'm not interested and I have no patience for any other pop culture news right now. As much as I'm sure you all are waiting on bated breath for my take on the Ashley Tisdale, Hilary Duff, toxic mom group drama, as much as I'm sure you're waiting for my hot take on that, my hot take is I simply cannot muster up even 1 to 2 sentences of a fake fluck to talk about that. I don't care. It's irrelevant to me in my life. Sometimes you can tell when news weeks are really slow because every single outlet has the same story that I don't care about in any way, shape, or form. But what I do care about is the movies, the winners, Marty Supreme, Minnesota, Renee Good, and Ice Out. That's what I care about right now this week. So that's what we're going to talk about, okay? Now, first tequila time story. Nikki Glaser doesn't get clearance for CBS jabs. Now, of course she got some sort of clearance because it's on a teleprompter. So what I really think they mean is they didn't run it past the news segment of CBS, which why the hell would they? Like, I'm sorry. I understand we're creeping toward fascism. We're kind of there. But it's like Nikki Glaser's not going to call up like the CBS news portion of the network and be like, is this okay? So I'm sure someone on the entertainment side approved it, which I'm good for. Now, what Nikki said was CBS is the network that has the Golden Globes on it. CBS is also the network that pulled the 60 Minutes segment on the deportees in El Salvador. That was a big controversy a few weeks ago. CBS pulled a 60-minute segment and then it got leaked in another country, Canada, I believe. And it was a big controversy that we truly are in a fascist state right now because we are not even able to air certain segments on certain news stations because they don't get greenlit, blah, 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 blah. We all know this story. At least I do. So Nikki Glaser does a little jab, and this is why two things are happening at once. One, we are hurling toward really violent, concerning. It's already violent and concerning, but I feel like in Q4 of this year, it like almost seemed like it was tapering down a little bit. And then 2026 hit, and it seems like we are full steam ahead on the absolute violent, unhinged behavior of this administration, not only throughout the world, but throughout our country as well. So two things can be happening at once. We can be hurling toward the most horrific, violent atrocities of this administration, while also finding a little bit of peace isn't the right word, maybe a little bit of hope, a little bit of not camaraderie. I'm trying to say something like, wow, this is really good for a freaking audio podcast. Oh my God. It's like, holy guacamole. A little bit of community. Community. I knew I was going to get there. I knew it. Okay. You can be hurling toward the violence of this administration and finding a little bit of community. So you find a little bit of community when things in social media, pop culture, and your real life, your neighbors, your friends, your family, seemingly validate your thoughts or your opinions, or just even make comments where you go, hey, you kind of see what's going on? Oh, I see what's going on too. So Nikki Glaser said, the award for the most editing goes to CBS News. Yes, CBS News, America's newest place for BS news. Even though it's one little sentence or two little sentences, to know that she actually spoke about that at an event hosted on CBS's network, it matters. It means something. That is actually quite an impressive thing to say, because the one thing you don't want to be in entertainment is like blacklisted. You don't want to embarrass your network, et cetera, et cetera. So when Nikki said that, it was really just this little beacon of light where it's like people really are willing to risk their jobs, to risk their livelihood, to risk a good relationship if it's something that they think is important to say or is right. In that, I just really appreciate it. Now, I do want to hop into the winners. I'm wondering if I should talk about the movie that I went to first or the winners. I think I'm just going to touch on the winners a little bit, because I'm not going to go through the whole list in a way where it's like, oh, in this category, blah, 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 blah. No. There is something happening that I believe is true. And that is, I am convinced that in these award shows, in these award seasons, they just decide when it's someone's year to win. Because I cannot believe that these people have watched the movies that I've watched, and people won who, let me just read the list, okay? Lead actor for not only the Golden Globes, but the Critics' Choice Awards, Timothee Chalamet. I'm leaving it there right now. I'm picking it up later. I'm only reading the ones that I disagree with, or I'm trying to prove a point. And then, Best Supporting Actor. The Critics' Choice Award was Jacob Elordi, and the Golden Globe was Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Okay? But riddle me this. Those are the winners for that I disagree with. I really hate to be a nitpicker. But then, for the Critics' Choice Award and the Golden Globes, one battle after another, won Best Picture and Best Director. And Best Screenplay. Listen, I'm a cinephile. I'm a fan of the movies. I understand that it's really not that big of a deal. I understand that the world keeps turning and moving. There's things going on right now. It cost me $50 to pick up 3 things at the grocery store. I understand all of that. But I have something called escapism, which I practice. And the escapism that I practice is movies. That's where I find my joy. That's where I find my escape. And when I watch One Battle After Another, which is arguably one of the best movies I have ever seen in my life, and I watch Sinners, which takes me on a visual and audible reprieve from this world. Okay? And then I sit up and watch these award shows, and Timothee Chalamet is winning Best Actor. I can't wrap it around my dome piece. It doesn't make any sense to me. So me and my girlfriend were talking at work yesterday. And I'm like, I need to understand what's happening in Marty Supreme for Leonardo DiCaprio, who played, to me, the best role of his career. This totally unhinged, spastic, high anxiety freak. I mean, his physical acting in that movie, the crawling on the ground, the panic, Sensei, I need you, Sensei. And then running down the hallway, Sensei, viva la resistance. Michael B. Jordan playing 3 separate characters in one movie. I needed to understand why Timothee Chalamet was winning Best Actor twice in a row. And I'm terrified for the Oscars. I'm terrified. So I watch Marty Supreme. Me and my girlfriend, we say, fuck it. Let's book movie tickets. We're working a 12-hour shift. We don't get done till 8. Let's find like a 9-something movie. We find a 9:40 movie. I literally get done with work, rush home 30 minutes this direction, get a shower, get in a different outfit, hop in my car, 35 minutes to the movie theater. Which, by the way, I'm just going to call it out by name because it's not going to really do anything. But the Alamo in DC, we ordered popcorn. It's like there's like not a concession stand there to order. You like order on your phone or something. There were 6 people in our movie theater. It was a Monday night. Pretty slow. We ordered popcorn and a basket of mozzarella sticks. It took 50 minutes to come. And we had to go out twice and ask. Well, once we like called a little bell because we didn't know if we did the order right. And we did. And then my girlfriend Lexi had to go out and be like, it's been like almost an hour. Like, what do we do? And then they brought it. It was so weird. So anyways, that was a tangent. I'm watching this movie. Listen, I'm not going to be a total hater. Can I say the movie was made well? 100%. Is it one of the old school Hollywood movies where you can really tell they put time and effort into the screenplay and the acting and the set design? Absolutely. Was the acting really, really good? Absolutely. In any way, shape, or form, did I think it was a movie that is going to go down in history like Shawshank Redemption or American History X or Schindler's List or Saving Private Ryan or Forrest Gump? No. I'm sorry. Can we just be real here? It's a movie about a narcissistic ping pong player. And yes, did Timothée Chalamet potentially learn how to play ping pong for this movie? Because I think there was a lot of shots where he was in like actively like playing it and you saw him. 100%. Do I think maybe that's why he won Best Actor? Possibly. Like I think maybe if he learned ping pong, and do you understand how dumb I feel saying this? Do Do you understand how dumb I feel saying this? Oh, if Timothee Chalamet learned ping pong for the movie, maybe he really does deserve to be Best Actor. Am I in a Twilight Zone? Yeah, is it impressive? Cool, yes, absolutely. But you know what? I got a bunch of kids up the street who are probably 8, 9, 10 who are also slinging that tennis ball around. They're slinging that ping pong ball around. And I understand it's like, oh, well, he's doing ping pong at an elite level. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Timothee Chalamet deserved to win Best Actor because he learned ping pong really well. So listen, the movie Marty Supreme was unbelievably high anxiety. It was difficult to watch. It was a little painful to watch, to be honest with you. It was so, what is the word? What is the word? It was, what is the word I'm looking for? Gosh, please help me with words. Sometimes words escape me. And that's why sometimes I say my own words and then people say that's not a word. And I go, listen, I'm doing the best I could. I was homeschooled in 2nd grade. I'm missing core foundational educational knowledge. It was exhausting. The movie was exhausting. That's the perfect way to describe it. Marty Supreme was an exhausting movie to watch. It was on a 10 the entire time. Timothee Chalamet was so unbelievably unlikable in this movie, which again, oh great, maybe that's why he deserves to win the Oscar, because he played a freaking jerk off the entire movie and you really did hate him. But in no world did I watch that movie and say that man deserved, and I really don't want to rain though on people's parades. Like, okay, I am happy for him if he's getting the accolades that he worked for. Like, that really is impressive. I just have a personal beef with it because Sinners was so good and One Battle After Another was so good. I don't understand why some years, I guess it's what makes it more interesting, because like last year I didn't care about the award seasons at all because like every movie I was like, these movies are like lame sauce. So maybe it does make it more interesting during award season when there's like a handful of really, really good ones and it truly is like a battle. But I also just feel like there is somehow an unfairness or something where I really do think they just decide that it's like someone's year and then they give it to that person. Because One Battle After Another winning the bulk of awards, but then acting like the actors and actresses in that movie weren't the catalyst for it doing so well. I'm sorry. One Battle After Another without Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio, Teyana Taylor, Infinity, shit, I need to look up her name because she's on the scene now and she is going to make a huge splash and I need to learn her name. I know it's something interesting. It's like 2 words that make it sound like it was made up. Chase Infinity. I knew it was Infinity something. To have that movie and act like it was the best picture, best screenplay, best this, best cinematography, best director, but then the actors of the cast didn't make that movie would not have been the same without the actors in that movie. So I'm waiting with bated breath to see what the Oscars bring, because so far right now, and even like during the Critics' Choice Awards, the fact that Jacob Elordi won Best Supporting Actor for Frankenstein when Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn were in the same category is psychotic. I watched both those movies. Frankenstein, I'm sorry, Jacob Elordi played, I don't know if it's because they did him in full body makeup and they go, wow, that's so impressive. We're going to give you Best Actor. You sat through 6 hours of makeup every day. That's a good actor. He didn't do anything in the movie. he like didn't really know English. He would go like, and go like, like, I love you. And that was Best Supporting Actor. And not Benicio del Toro, who's dancing to the cops. How many drinks have you had today? A few small beers. Sean Penn, who played one of the most unlikable characters I've ever seen in a movie ever. A totally neurotic OCD narcissist. And they didn't win. Jacob Elordi, who grunted, won. And Timothee Chalamet, who learned ping pong, won. Okay. Well, I'm scared for the Oscars. I'm terrified, to be honest with you. And honestly, I will watch the Oscars, and I'm not going to let it ruin my mood. But, man, if these people sweep, you know what? Let me just get off of it. I'm going to get off of it. I think I've made my point. If you want to watch a movie that is absolutely emotionally dreadful, I would highly recommend Marty Supreme. If you want to watch a movie that is well made but leaves you feeling absolutely drained, 10 out of 10, emotionally sad. By the way, there's not one scene in Marty Supreme. There's 2 scenes in Marty Supreme where a dog gets hurt. 2! That's all I have to say. Now, let's get into politicking. This week has been quite challenging. I think everyone is feeling a re-rise in anxiety and a re-rise in hopelessness this week. However, I do just want to say, by now, most everyone knows what happened in Minnesota. There were anti-ICE protests going on. There was a woman, Renee Good, who was in her car. She was coming home from dropping off her 6-year-old. There's mixed messaging between whether she was blocking the street intentionally or part of the protest. And really what it comes down to is she was returning home from dropping her child off at school. I will not feed into any propaganda that she was a raging extremist liberal who was trying to ram her car or threaten the lives of ICE agents. That's not what happened. There may have been that she saw the protest and, somehow got her car in there where she had some kind of idea where, oh, maybe she's going to try to block the ICE agents' cars or something. I will, because she's dead now, so we don't really know. I'm choosing to believe and go with the fact that she was just simply returning home from dropping off her child. But let's say she did see ICE. Emotions are raised right now. People are feeling emboldened to protect their neighbors and their communities. And she went, oh, you know what? I'm gonna block their car for a minute. That doesn't warrant ICE agents getting out of their car, trying to rip her out of her car, grabbing at her steering wheel, reaching in her window, which, by the way, the last thing she said was like, we're all good. I'm not mad at you, bro. Because as she was trying to turn away, ICE agents are here. Her car is turning this way. Her wheel is turned as far away as possible. No circumstance in that scenario warrants an ICE agent pulling out their gun and shooting into her car 3 to 4 times. No scenario exists where that is the appropriate reaction. She was murdered on her own street. Died, dead, she's gone. And the most disturbing things of that interaction were directly after they murdered her, ICE agents called her a fucking bitch as she bled out to death with a bullet in her face. And I'm sorry to be graphic, but this is where we're at right now in this country. And as a doctor is screaming, I'm a doctor, can I check her pulse? And if ICE agent says, I don't care. They have given the power to these ICE agents to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And I'm not going to say all this without an uplifting portion of it, because it's one thing to just repeat it and like bring down the mood and just say it and maybe feed our own spiral. There wouldn't really be a point of me saying that. The point of me saying all this is, one, people are upset because there is a little bit of conversation where it's like, why is a lot of people have died in ICE custody or from the hands of ICE? Why is this the one making news? And that's a very simple answer. It's because this is the one that we saw with our own eyes, recorded on 20 different vantage points, and hearing the direct and immediate reactions of the ICE officers who killed her. Fucking bitch, I don't care that you're a doctor. That is the immediate reaction of these ICE agents. It's us seeing in real time with our own eyes a live murder with a total flippancy and disregard for human life after that. Absolutely. And then the direct reaction from the administration, where because it was happened on such a large scale, watching the real time rewriting of history, the propaganda, the fascist rewriting of history, where they go, a crazy psychotic liberal tried to drive her car into ICE agents and kill them. They're lucky to be alive. They used necessary force, when our eyes, our ears, and our brains actually saw what happened. That's the reality of it. So that's why this story is so big, because we're able to see with our own eyes the truth of what happened, the rewriting of history, in the cruelty in which ICE thinks that they can function. So that's the first part. But the second part of why I'm saying it is because we have people like Mark Ruffalo, Wanda Sykes, Steve Kerr, going out on humongous platforms and saying her name, wearing pins. We have people in our own communities. We have protests breaking out everywhere. ICE out protests breaking out everywhere. We have Steve Kerr at a press conference for the Golden State Warriors saying straight up, this is murder. We saw it with our own eyes and ears. We have Mark Ruffalo on the Golden Globes red carpet with a pen. How are you feeling tonight, Mark, on the big red carpet? How are you feeling? Not good. We have a woman, Renee, who was just murdered by ICE agents in Minnesota. You know, there is something to be said where these little things. Last year when the administration first took over, I think a lot of us thought it was going to be The Handmaid's Tale. And it was just going to be this sweeping, unstoppable tidal wave of alt-right Christian nationalists who swiftly take over the country and imprison us before we even have time to fight back. And when things like this happen, and the news cycles happen as the time goes on and as years go on, you see that's not what's going to happen. There is an active rebuttal against what is going on in this country. And the main thing I want to say is, no matter what, I want you to open your ears when I say this to you. No matter what, this will not always be Trump's America. No matter what, this country will not fall into white Christian nationalist hands. We are there right now, but what you should take away from these scenarios is this country will not go down without a fight. It will not. And no matter what, because just as cruel and evil as there are people on their side, there are smart, dedicated, I want to highlight the smart, genius people on the left or moderate side who will not, this will not always be Trump's America, period. And the people who are carrying out these atrocities will be held accountable to the highest extent of the law. There is no way that this country, whether it goes to World War III, whether it goes to a civil war, whether it goes to flipping the midterms and getting the House and Senate majority, whether it goes to the next presidential election and it flips back to a moderate or a blue or just a conservative who's not psychotic, this will not always be Trump's America. And every single person who was part of this horrific administration, horrific Reich, will be held accountable. Whether it's now or through their natural course of life, they will be held accountable. And I want you to know that. I really do. And things like the Golden Globes and your friends and your neighbors in protests, whatever you see, I just need you to hold on to that hope, because it is getting dark. But with Trump's delusion, where he thinks he is some kind of dictator or ruler, what he's doing, not only in this country, but throughout the world, people are not going to stand by and let that happen. The country, the world, the United Nations, they're not going to let him just take over this place, do this, do that. That's not going to happen. It's just not. And I'm not going to eat my own words. I know that to be a fact. And with that being said, I'm only speaking about this tentatively right now because it could truly change. But the final sale of TikTok went through, and the platform will be shifting over to that Oracle on January 22nd, I believe. And for a long time when that's happened, I said that I will be leaving TikTok at that point. And I listened to and follow for news, a really good guy, King Triv, TRIV on TikTok. I really like him. He's from Pittsburgh. He brought up a great point the other day where he's like, Mark Zuckerberg runs Instagram and Facebook. He's in Trump's pocket. Elon runs X. He's in Trump's pocket. There's no difference between the takeover of TikTok. Every social media platform right now caters to Trump. And so I went from saying I'm definitely getting off the platform when that switches over to Oracle for many reasons. Safety, this, that. So I'm having a little bit of a shift in my mind, and I think I need to actually see the flip before I decide what I'm going to do. There's a little part of me that says, I kind of want to Trojan horse that bitch. You know, I almost want to say, oh, you're taking over and you're going to be part of, Oracle's going to run the algorithm, and the owners of Fox News are going to be the majority shareholders in this company. I kind of want to piss in their house. Excuse my language. I do know that that's vulgar, but I kind of have a feeling that I a little bit just want to say, screw you. And he brought up a good point. Oh, you're going to leave TikTok and go to Instagram? They're literally getting in trouble yearly for their censorship. They're literally getting in trouble yearly for their bots in election rigging. You know, I don't know if it's quite election rigging, but it's like propaganda from Russia on Instagram and Facebook that alter the election, or that try to manipulate elections and stuff like that. So as of right now, I'm in this hold tight moment where I'm just playing it by ear. Because there's a tiny little bit of a part of me that wants to say, if you're going to take over and think you're going to be a certain way, I kind of want to call, I don't know. I kind of want to, I don't know what the word is, but I'm just going to play it. I'm going to play it by ear for now. Cause I want to see, I really want to see exactly how they censor you and exactly what that means. You know, it's almost like we're going to be on enemy ground, and I want to see exactly what we're working with. I think that's what it is. So listen, weird week, heavy week. I think in general, our souls and spirits are still on this upward trajectory of 2026. You know, we're still in our lives. We're gaining confidence. We're living life. We're self-reflecting with chaos happening around us. But that is unfortunately the new normal. And that's just something that we have to acclimate to right now. We're keeping our minds, bodies, and spirits healthy. We're laughing with our friends. We're going out to lunch. We're going out to dinner. We're donating to things. We're sharing posts. We're going to protests. We are keeping ourselves whole while there is chaos and cruelty happening around us, but we're not going to let them take our spirit. We're not going to let them take our soul. Now, all I can say is closing out. I don't know what's going to happen with the Oscars. I honestly might have to no, you know what? Screw it. I was going to say I might have to take a step back and like detach it a little bit emotionally. No, I'm going to let it get me revved up. I want to see who's going to win, and I want to know why. I'm demanding answers, and I'm demanding questions. Okay. Now, this week, Chic C'est La Vie, ça va, Chic C'est La Vie, ça va, Chic C'est La Vie, ça va, is going to go to my coworker, Lexi. Man, did we sit in the office yesterday after we had gotten caught up on our day and just ping pong back and forth early 2000s music? Yeah. Did we dip into the 90s? Shania Twain? We sure did. Man, I feel like a woman. Let's go, girls. Absolutely. Did we hit a milli after that? Absolutely. Were we just laughing our little dome pieces off? Yes, we were. My spirit tank got filled up that night. Do you know how nice that is? And then we hit the movies afterwards, shared a little candy, shared a little popcorn. We got pop late night. I drank a pop at freaking 11 o'clock at night. Thank God I didn't wake up with acne this morning. Now, with that being said, I want you to call your greatest girlfriend after this. I want you to call your greatest guy friend after this. And I want you to chop it up a little bit on the phone. The only thing that's going to keep us going right now is our friends, families, lovers, and partners. Okay? Now, until next week, like, rate, review, subscribe, share. And if you like my podcast, DM me. People have been DMing me lately and being like, girl, just so you know, like, I needed that this week. And I'm like, just so you know, I needed that this week. Thank you so much. What you do for me, I do for you. What I do for you, you do for me. I love a compliment, and I'm going to compliment you right back, okay? And until next week, bye.